G'day YouTube, it's Shane here once again, and this is just a little update video. It's been a while since I've actually uploaded anything at all, but the channel is still getting views every day. Every now and again some of the shorts will take off, but I'm also grateful for those of you who are returning viewers and things like that. And those of you who are subscribing and whatnot. It does make a difference when you not just watch the videos, but click like, because it pushes the videos out further and further, because YouTube goes, oh, people are watching this stuff, and then it tries to push it out further, gets more impressions and all that sort of stuff. But this video is just one where I want to recap the week. It's after midnight, and I do have to be up really early tomorrow morning for the federal election. I am working as a declared vote issuer. That's for people who are provisional voting or absentee voting and things like that, and I'll be rotating in between doing that and doing like the ordinary vote issuing and stuff like that. I've never done the declared voting. It is a bit more complicated, and I am a bit like anxious, nervous and stuff like that, and I do need to sleep. I'll be there at 7. We open at 8, and then I'll be going through until like 10 p.m. Cleaning up afterwards, counting the votes and all that sort of stuff. I always find it a little bit weird that they can declare an election based on the swing of the voters rather than like the final tally, but often it's usually a landslide one way or the other with Australian politics. This time around there's a lot of distractions, and basically political parties that they don't really truly have Australian interests at heart, and there are some who are just plain evil, I'll put it that way, racist and all the rest of it, but we won't go there. Today, or not today because it's after midnight, but yesterday I went to my local bank, my credit union, to sort the issue out with the double transactions of 2 transactions. So there were 4 transactions that went through. I reported it like back in March, and they had reversed one of the transactions, and I hadn't heard anything about the second transaction, which was the one that was sort of the greater number and more worrying, but they hadn't done anything about it, and I thought, what's going on here? So I waited a little bit. Then we had Easter, we had Anzac Day, and I was either working or whatever, and I just didn't have the time to actually go into the credit union. So anyway, I talked to this brand new young trainee. She'd been there for 3 weeks and stuff. Tried to explain the situation. It's very complicated. Anyway, apparently they'd sent me out an email, which I didn't get, but they did have the courtesy to print one out that said that they couldn't reverse the transaction because I'd used PayWave. And I thought that was very weird, because what had happened was I'd used the credit card to buy something online, and I'd been double charged for something small, and they reversed it. That was fine. They could do that because they could talk to the company directly. With PayWave, anybody can call themselves whatever, and they had no way of finding out that it was, even though it says on their Trinity Medical Centre, it was a payment for like medication. And there's no way that I would be allowed to buy 2 lots of the same medication 2 days apart, right? Because they check the scripts and they check the dates, you know. So what happened was, with the computer system, with both transactions, they went through when I did them, and for some reason it duplicated those transactions and said they were pending. So 2 days later, both of those transactions go through for the second time. Like I said, the first one was reversed. The second one wasn't reversed because they wanted me to go to the medical centre, the chemist, and get them to go through their records to find this double payment, even though it was a glitch that was caused by this particular credit union. And there was a point where I just wanted the case number that I'd filed the case for them to report it, so that I could talk to the banking ombudsman, because it's pretty much theft. They'd taken money, distributed it, and then decided they weren't going to try and refund it. I know they mean well, but when it's scary that their system can take my money, anybody's money, with a glitch, and then because it's PayWave, they won't and can't physically do anything about it. And the system needs to be changed or updated or whatever. But yeah, so that was happening. What else happened? Someone tried to attack me online, and they were trying to justify what they were doing and all this sort of stuff. And then other people came to my defense. This is the benefit of having a good reputation within certain communities. People will defend you if someone tries to attack you, or they're wrong or whatever, and they don't, or they come up with the smear campaign, or they just false accusations or whatever. But yeah, like I defended myself, and I decided, look, I don't want to have anything to do with this guy anymore, and I just walked away. It was afterwards that people sort of dogpiled on this guy, and you know, like, karma's a bitch, you know. But I just wanted to thank everybody who is watching this sort of stuff, this video. What I'll do is I'll put a code word in here, and the code word is STOP, STOP. Please leave it in the comments and things like that. But yeah, so that was one of the drama. Like, that's the second drama. Financially, I'm struggling a little bit. Like, I do have work lined up, at least until March the 17th. Bits and pieces, but yeah, tomorrow in the morning, I'll be working at a local, thankfully local, finally local, election polling booth. They used to have me out at Cheltenham, like trying to get there before 7 o'clock in the morning from Salisbury is ridiculous. But this is a local school within walking distance. Yay! So that'll be cool. And it's usually fairly easygoing, the elections and things. People are in and out. They've got like computers and things set up when I did some early voting. So, and you walk in, you ask a few questions, check people's names on the computers. It's so much faster than have to manually look up people's names, remember the alphabet, and go through like the alphabetical order multiple times, sometimes for the same name, because different spellings and all this sort of stuff. Is it Mac? Is it Mook? Is it whatever? And yeah. But yeah, financially, just plodding along. I do need to be working every day though, if I can. These companies rejecting people or hiring other people, not actually giving me a go, which is annoying. Or they cancel the jobs and things. I know that if it was in a different state, like Sydney or Melbourne, like there'd just be heaps of jobs everywhere, and I could pick and choose whatever I wanted. But in Adelaide, it's a lot rougher. I'm close to not. Oh, by the way, I've been off Centrelink for 3 years now, official. I will do a proper video for that when I get the time. And I really, really, really don't want to go back on Centrelink for my mental health. It's not Centrelink themselves, it's the job network and the draconian hoops they make you jump through and all this sort of stuff. But yes, I digress. This is not the best angle for video, but it's after midnight, and I want to say thank you for watching this far. The code word is the word stop. You would have written that down obviously before, and I will catch up with you in the next video. I'm not going to be able to record anything at all day tomorrow. I'll have 0 daylight. Sunday I will be up at Tea Tree Plaza teaching English to a Chinese guy. He understands English like 85% of the time, so I'm slowly breaking down prefixes and suffixes, and he's going to give me a few responses to interview questions, and we're going to rehearse them and things like that. So it's usually just like an hour or so, and he's very busy. He's an accountant, and he'll shout me like a coffee or something. We should, and he bought me like a notepad and some pens and things like that as just like a repayment sort of thing, as a bit of a gift, which is, I appreciate that. It'd be good if you helped out with like a rent payment or two. The guy's an accountant, but he's looking to. He applied for a job and then he didn't get it because he couldn't answer like the abstract questions in the interviews. Like, and I gave him a few abstract ones, things like what's your favorite? If you could have any superpower, what would it be? And if you could be a favorite animal, or if you could be an animal, what would it be? And things like that. And he stopped and thought about it because that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't. The interviews are not about being logical. It's about whether or not you can come up with an answer on the fly and all that sort of stuff. And also taught him about group interviews, how it's not just all about you in a group interview. It's whether or not you can help other people come up with answers and stuff, like without actually answering for them, but just sort of being cooperative and all that sort of stuff. But yes, anyway, I'm going to try and get some sleep, but I just thought I'd record a little something while I had the chance. So Sunday, Chinese lessons at TTP. I've got to remember all this sort of stuff. I'm working at the Morphettville Racecourse next weekend, and then again I'll be at the Adelaide Oval the week after. I'm just looking for work in between. Thankfully the electoral stuff is really like a really long day. I'm hoping that they do like start paying people proper wages. Like, it's a government department, they should be paying people like more than $25 an hour. But you know, it's like a 13-hour day possibly, and that'll pay like at least a week of rent after tax. So we'll see. We will see. Anyway, I'm rambling on too long. If you like what I'm doing here, please consider the 2 videos that will pop up on the screen. In the end screen, I'm going to try something new. My good friend Rebecca made an end screen for me, and we'll see how we go. Catch you in the next video. Bye. Watch another one. It'll be here, and it'll be here.